organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, see how changes in state food guidelines are affecting the Iowa City School District.
Plus, one of the University of Iowa's parking lots won't be in place for tomorrow. We'll tell you why.
And in sports, we have everything black and gold in this week's edition of Pregame.
That's all coming your way next. Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Good evening and welcome to your Thursday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Reed Chandler.
And I'm Muriel Kone. Schools across the state have recently received thousands of dollars in grants to help provide healthy food options for students. But with the grants have come a new set of stricter food guidelines for the school districts in order to get the money. Daily Iowan TV reporter Stephen Duran shows us how these new regulations are affecting local Iowa schools.
One of the major health problems currently seen in American children is childhood obesity. To help fight against this growing problem, Iowa schools have recently received thousands of dollars in grants to help promote healthy eating habits. With these grants come strict food guidelines as well. These government guidelines state that vegetables have to be the biggest portion of food on a student's plate. Because of these food regulations have never been this firm before, Iowa City school officials are faced with some challenging responsibilities.
I don't know that in all cases kids are happy about the changes, but we're trying to, again, make it a win-win so that we meet the requirements, but we're also putting things out there that kids like, and we keep looking for products that meet our needs.
When lunchtime rolls around in Iowa City, school students are greeted with many signs telling them what to eat and how much. The new food grants not only go to the new food costs, but to other things like employee training and nutrition information. Although the new guidelines have limited the overall food options, the goal of slowing down growth rate of obesity is a positive message being sent to students. With these new changes, school officials are hopeful that students' healthy eating habits will carry beyond just the school lunchroom.
I don't disagree with the intent of the regulation. I think it's good that kids are getting more fruits and vegetables. It's just, it's a process, and the school is one piece of that whole process. You know, some of these changes need to happen at home too.
Stephen Duran, Daily Iowan TV.
After dealing with this year's new food regulation guidelines, public school officials said they hope this experience will help them prepare for more changes in the future.
And if you're driving to the University of Iowa campus tomorrow, don't be alarmed if your parking spot is occupied by something other than a car. The UI and Iowa City community are taking part in a Parking Day in the lot south of Iowa Memorial Union. Parking Day is an annual worldwide event where artists, designers, and residents transform metered parking spots into temporary public parks. The mission of this event is to call attention to the need for more urban open space. The project first started in San Francisco when a student changed a metered parking spot to a park to show how the city was lacking public space.
Police in Iowa City are offering a reward for information leading to an arrest of an unlikely criminal, a woman who destroyed plants downtown. Police announced Wednesday investigators are trying to identify a woman caught on surveillance footage. The woman ripped plants out of the planters located in front of Hotel Vitro. Iowa City Crime Stoppers are offering a reward of up to $1,000 for information leading to the arrest of the suspect.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, the University of Iowa held its annual career fair. We'll give you the inside scoop.
And in sports, the pregame staff welcomes back Gary Dolphin for the Daily Iowan TV Sports 2-minute drill.
But first, many UI students are enjoying the great fall weather while walking to class. Let's check in with Alyssa Bergamini to see if these mild temps are here to stay here through the weekend. Alyssa?
Well, Reed, the mild temps will remain as the weekend rolls in, but make sure to have your rain gear out because rain is headed our way. Starting tomorrow morning, there's a 40% chance of rain, but the showers will not be around for too long. The afternoon will clear up, jumping to 69 degrees and will stay partly cloudy. And later in the evening, the temperature will cool off to 53 degrees. Taking a look at our 6-day forecast, Saturday will take a quick turnaround and the sun will be shining for the Iowa Central Michigan game. Come Sunday and Monday, the weather will stay pretty warm with cooler temps at night. And Tuesday is the hottest day we will see next week, reaching all the way to 81 degrees. And Wednesday will bring in some possible showers once again. So enjoy the sunny weekend as it kicks off the fall season. That's all for weather. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Alyssa. Many UI students formed the Iowa Memorial Union today to check out future job and internship possibilities. The UI Pomerantz Center hosted a career fair to help expose students to different opportunities. However, this isn't the first career event of the semester. The Pomerantz Center has also put on other events where students have gotten the chance to meet one-on-one with professionals.
This was really helpful. I also went to the Pomerantz Career Center last night too, so I got to the chance to meet some of the employers before today, which was nice.
Last year, the career fair drew more than 140 employers and 1,500 students. This year, it proved to be just as successful.
Now let's take a look at news around the world. At least 30 people were killed and dozens were wounded today in Syria. Regime airstrikes hit a gas station in northern Syria that set off a fiery explosion. In addition, a Syrian military helicopter crashed near the capital of Damascus. Syria's information ministry said the helicopter went down after its rotor accidentally clipped the tail of a Syrian passenger plane with 200 people on board. The country is currently in a civil war between forces fighting for President Bashar Assad and those against him.
The Deputy U.S. Secretary of State attended a memorial service in Libya today for the American ambassador to Libya and 3 other consulate staffers killed last week. William Burns is the highest-ranking diplomat to travel to the country since the attack last Tuesday. The visit comes as Washington is still working to piece together how Ambassador Chris Stevens was killed.
And a member of President Obama's 2008 presidential campaign spoke to the University of Iowa Law School today. Yale Law School professor Heather Gerken is the 2012 Order of the Coif Distinguished Visitor. This means law schools all across the nation compete for her to visit, and she chose the University of Iowa. Her speech comes at the heels of the launch of Obama's For All campaign that was launched today. According to a recent Gallup poll, both GOP candidate Mitt Romney and Obama are at 47% among registered voters.
And now, Daily Iowan TV's Josh Bolander and Lauren Moss are here for Daily Iowan TV Sports Pregame.
Hello and welcome back once again to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Pregame Show.
Our pregame staff has been working tirelessly to ensure you have everything you need to know about the Black and Gold's contest against Central Michigan at Kinnick Stadium this Saturday. We'll have it all for you today, including expert analysis and insider reporting from our staff.
Plus, as always, we'll be talking to special guests from around the country to get you as much perspective as possible during the Daily Iowan TV Sports 2-Minute Drill.
But before we get to all of that, Josh, let's rewind back to 1989 when a Michigan State quarterback ran circles around Hayden Fry at the Hawks Kinnick Stadium en route to a 17-14 victory.
That man, Central Michigan head coach Dan Enos, whose team will be looking to capture some of the same Kinnick Stadium magic their head man displayed 23 years ago. Daily Iowan TV's football reporter Nick Rector has the preview.
The Iowa Hawkeyes welcomed Central Michigan into Kinnick Stadium on Saturday as they look to improve to a 3-1 record. Last week, Iowa finished with 429 total offensive yards, with 201 yards on the ground and 228 yards in the air.
But definitely did a good job down in the red zone today of being able to punch it in. I think that started up front. Able to run the ball well all day, and when you can run the ball down in that red zone area, it makes things a lot more open.
It looks like running back Greg Garman and Damon Bullock will still be out with injury as well, so look for sophomore fullback Mark Wiseman to carry Iowa's running game.
You always have to be ready for it. During the week, I've prepared to be a fullback and a running back because I know I can get carries, so everyone expects me to do my job out there. So.
Don't be fooled by his modesty, folks. Remember, this is the guy who stepped up and carried for 113 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. He wasn't the only guy to step up last week, though. For the first time this season, the Hawkeye defense looked big, mean, and in charge. In case you didn't know, the Iowa defense hasn't given up a point in the fourth quarter yet this season. But we'll see on Saturday if they can keep up that ferocity that they showed last week. Central Michigan holds a record of 1-1 and are coming off of a loss from 2 weeks ago. They did not have a game last weekend, giving them an extra week to prepare for Iowa. Come 11 a.m. on Saturday morning, we'll see if Central Michigan will have enough to keep up with the Hawkeyes or whether they'll just be another footstep in Iowa's season. Nick Rector, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Continuing the trend of an insider look at the Hawks, we now throw it over to Ian Martin, who caught up with the Daily Iowan pregame editor Sam Luagi. Ian?
All right, thanks, guys. I'm here with Sam Luagi, the Daily Iowan pregame editor. And first off, Sam, last week Wiseman was unbelievable coming in, third man on the depth chart. Do you think that he's going to be able to keep that up this week, especially since it seems as though he's still going to be the number one?
I think there's no reason to expect more of the same, especially because, as you said, he's gonna be the guy at running back this week. And for parents that Damon Bullock and Greg Garman are doubtful for the week. So yeah, there's no reason to think that Central Michigan can slow him down if Northern Iowa couldn't. But the interesting part comes after that when some of these running backs start getting healthy and coming back to see how they balance or who they give the carries to. Because Wiseman obviously was very effective. I think there's a good chance to see something like Mark Wiseman get a lot of work in short yardage situations and goal line situations, and then some of those other faster, smaller backs working in between the 20s.
And as far as the Iowa offense as a whole, it seems as though last week was a little bit of a different look from weeks 1 and 2. What do you think the Iowa offensive philosophy is right now?
Well, that's interesting because in the first 2 weeks, you saw a lot of the Greg Davis principles that we heard all offseason about, the shotgun and the 4 receivers, slants and screen passes, and it really didn't work at all. The offense never kind of got going in the first 2 games. And last week against Northern Iowa, it was really sort of a return to kind of the old Iowa. You had a lot of runs to start the game and then used that to set up the play-action pass. And, so it looked like more of a return to what they had done and been comfortable with in the past. So it'll be interesting to see how those sorts of elements kind of balance out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, not just next week, but as you said, the entire season long. It'll be interesting to watch how Iowa develops offensively. Well, thanks, Sam, and we will talk to you again next week. That's all for us. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Ian. And now we are pleased to welcome back friend of the show and voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin, for a full segment of the Daily Iowan TV Sports 2-Minute Drill. And Gary, what are the Hawks up against when they take on Central Michigan this Saturday?
They're playing a good Central Michigan program that had fallen on hard times last year, but they've got 18 starters back. They've got a defense that likes to take chances, a defense that blitzed Michigan State maybe 75% of the time through 3 quarters, and then when the game got out of hand, they played a little more conventional. And so it was huge paramount that the Hawkeye offense had some success last week against a very good Northern Iowa program.
And now the Hawks picked it up on the offense this past weekend, but quarterback James Vandenberg is yet to throw a touchdown pass. Your thoughts?
Well, the passing game is obviously important at both ends, not only him throwing and delivering the ball, but the receivers catching it. And I thought you could see the confidence boost last week in Keith Davis, Devontae Martin Manley with that 51-yard deep square in or post pattern that set up an Iowa score, which was a big score against a good UNI defense.
Greg Garman and Damon Bullock go down last week, and Gary, adding them to the list of other Hawkeye running backs, have you ever seen anything like this?
It's important for Bullock and Garman and Michael Malloy and others to get back in there because I've never seen a position snake that was so bad as the tailback position at Iowa in all the years I've been covering college football. It just makes you shake your head and wonder, what is going on here.
And finally, Gary, Jordan Canzeri has been cleared to play Saturday. Any chance he hits the field?
I don't think he'll play this weekend. If he does play, it would be absolutely out of necessity. I think what they want to do is maybe gradually work him in after the bye week. Keep in mind, he tore his ACL in the spring. Usually that's a 1-year rehab. And here he is running around. So he's cleared to play medically. I think they'd like to work him in on special teams, have him get out there and just get hit a couple times, make sure that he is okay, that his mental state is okay. And then after the bye week, if they need him, then work him in for a snap here, a series there.
All right, and thanks so much, Gary. And only with Daily Iowan TV Sports can you get a preview of tomorrow's cover for the Daily Iowan Special Pregame Edition. Making the cover this week is Hawkeye safety Tom Donatel.
Well, that's all for us here at Pregame.
But be sure to tune in this Sunday for highlights of the Black and Gold's battle against the Chippewas.
Thanks again, and go Hawks.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek at Friday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Read about a website the Iowa City School District created to improve their transparency.
and all about the increasing issue of freedom of birth for women.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out on Sunday at the same time or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.